Adventure Time Fionna and Cake Season 2 might be rage bait. I mainly say this because I really don't like the implication that Marceline has a thing for anyone and everyone that Finn is seriously attracted to. Like, it's not just Princess Bubblegum at this point. After the events of this episode, it's vaguely implied that the same can be said about Huntress Wizard. Marceline mentioned that she should give Huntress Wizard a call after finding out Finn is with her again, and then her denying that she has Huntress's number when asked about it by Princess Bubblegum. And in all honesty, I've been one of the people who have shipped Finn and Marceline getting together since the very beginning of the show. And while I definitely don't think it's ever gonna happen, especially after seeing how Marshall and Fionna are definitely in that best friend territory with one another. If there was any spin-off of Adventure Time that had the perfect opportunity to show us all the different ships the fandom have thought up over the years, it's definitely Fionna and Cake. However, it doesn't seem like this season will focus too much on the other universes and dimensions like the show's first season. In fact, the major plot points of this season so far seem to be around Fiona's friends in her homeworld and them adapting to the struggles of capitalism. And a plot point I didn't even expect to carry on from season 1 of Fionna and Cake involving main world Finn. But Finn apparently got poisoned by that bear he and Simon fought in the first season's second episode, and now Huntress is left to find a way to cure him. I believe this will tie directly into Fiona's story by having the cure for Finn's illness be somewhere in her reality. This will cause Huntress Wizard to travel there and have her lead Fionna and Cake back to Ooo in order to save Fiona's original counterpart. And it looks like more than that, it's also being foreshadowed that Fionna will finally step into her place fully as one of the Adventure Time multiverse's Finn, as she is now having dreams similar to the dreams she had of the Winter King, where we see her with only one arm. And we all know by now that Finn losing his arm is just one of the cosmic happenings of the universe that always occurs regardless of the time. So seeing Fionna also replicate that, I think, is not just necessary but genuinely is just very good storytelling. It also appears that Ice King's arc this season will be less depressing and more about healing. The first season he was all in his feels about Betty, and now that the relationship has ended, it appears they will have him focus more on becoming his own person. Not only is he still teaching wisdom, but at the start of the season he's moved in with Marceline and Bubblegum and is enjoying time with his daughter and family. Another thing I really enjoyed about the setup in the first episode of the season was how Huntress really does care about Finn. Not only did Finn hallucinate her healing and feeding him during his illness, but she literally goes all around Ooo trying to figure out not only what poisoned Finn, but how she can heal him. She risked her life for him multiple times in this episode alone. While I've never been the biggest shipper of these two, I definitely am starting to really support them after watching. I personally always wanted Finn and Flame Princess to end up together, something that this episode also alludes to by showing that Fionna isn't entirely over Flame Prince in her universe. Now, as for how Fionna might end up losing her arm, your guess is honestly just as good as mine. In the dream sequence, she has a robot arm like Finn, with the difference being that she can fire lasers from. Maybe this is the form Fionna will take after her and Cake end up traveling back to Ooo to save Finn. Honestly, I'm very excited to see where they end up taking things this season. It left us on a cliffhanger that has me very hyped to see the direction they end up taking next. And ultimately, I'm just glad to be able to say there's new Adventure Time in the big 2025. Truly feels like a fever dream. But if you're on board to continue enjoying Fionna and Cake with me, you can let me know in the comments what you want to see from the season. Is it more ships, more fight scenes, or are you just finally excited to see Finn and Fionna meet? Tell me all about it and subscribe to stay tuned for the next episode. I'm God, signing off.
I come in clutch like a genie. Don't talk unless you need me. You talk too much, you need it. All of my bitches look like models, she in love with me. When we link, it's flashing lights and cameras, got a blame.